I would imagine. Well, we'll see. We'll see if that happens, but Wolf came out. He was wearing all black. He has got long hair and a beard now. He was clearly nervous, that's for sure. He was highly emotional because he did say it's going to be hard for him to sing Distance because of the very close tie to his dad and the emotional state that he's already in. But I tell you, he looked cool and the band was super tight. By the time he hit the second verse, his vocals were building and stronger, and he sounded spot on. I tell you, he looked a little nervous in the beginning, but what I also did is I listened to the recording without looking at it, and it was spot on. So this guy really has a killer voice. I tell you, he's so clear and so sharp, and here's a clip. You could almost hear him singing Journey songs with that voice. It's really interesting. He's got some serious pipes, which he's been hiding. I mean, don't get me wrong. He did those background harmonies that he was covering for Michael Anthony, but I don't think anybody realized the kind of pipes this kid had on top of his musical prowess. So they had an additional guitarist in the background, I guess, for thickening up the sound.
I saw that.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah, there was Wolf.
Yep.
And then Wolf had his own guitarist.
Right.
And there was another guitarist in the background.
Right.
So they had three of them going on.
Yeah, interesting. Now, I tell you, the potential he had was incredible, but I have to say, it even ended even a little bit emotional as it went, but I sort of think his emotional state really worked with the performance. Much like Michael Jackson, She's Out of My Life, where he gets emotional in it, but it kind of works with the song. The song is very emotional. It's highly charged. So I think that really kind of worked with Wolf. I thought the setup was amazing, with the logos on each side and had the video playing in the background. The sound and the lighting were great. Kimmel always does a great job with live bands. I have to say, they've of all the late night shows, there's no comparison. Kimmel's way and high above everybody with that. Overall, I think it was a great first showing. Listen, it was a tall order for him to do that, to come out and be the first performance be on live television, and also to do the emotional tribute to his father. But I have to say, the album rollout so far has been very strong. He's doing press for 6 months before the release. He's doing radio shows. He's Stern. He's doing Trunk. He did Jimmy Kimmel. He's dropping things along the way, and I think he's whetting people's appetites. You know what I mean? And I think this is looking good. We're getting closer to the touring time. It's going to take some time to get there for sure. I'm curious to see, Dave, if a tour will be announced. I don't know, or how he'll be touring, or if he'll be touring, or what size venues what kind of venues could he do? I don't think you're going to put this guy in clubs. He's going to with small theaters. I don't even know.
Yeah, like 2, 3, maybe 5,000 seaters, something like that.
Wow, that's pretty good out the gate when you only have one album and it hasn't even been released yet.
Oh, well, that's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody knows, right?
Right.
Nobody's going to be announcing live gigs.
Of course.
Or, Dave, maybe he'll be an opening act for a larger act.
Oh, that could be. But I have a feeling he's going to get his feet wet first before he jumps on a big tour, because that's a big responsibility or sometimes they do both, where they do nights off and they do their own gigs. So we'll see what happens, and obviously everything's going to be up in the air. I think you're probably going to have a better chance of having some sort of smaller venue, because the arena venues are going to be the hardest to get back to. For sure, you know what I mean? So, and then I know Sammy, invited him to open for The Circle. I don't know if he's going to want to do that, or if he would rather. Maybe he'll probably open for Alter Bridge. So maybe he'll tour with Alter Bridge, open for Alter Bridge. That would be something, That would be a nice bill. Wolfie did a second TV appearance. Now, this is interesting. He appeared on the Today Show, which he was on in November, where Carson Daly interviewed him when he released Distance, the video, the song, and he did a similar thing here, where Carson Daly interviewed him again from his home studio, but he released an acoustic version of Distance in a special performance. Here's a clip.
I'm still crying. Don't want this place. A world without you. Don't think I'll ever move on. distance is, I will be with you. No matter what the distance is, I will be with you. No matter what the distance is, you'll be okay. No matter what the distance is, I will be with you. No matter what the distance is, I will be with you. No matter what the distance is, I will be with you. No matter what the distance is, you'll be okay. Oh, yeah.
First of all, I'm surprised he was on the Today Show with Carson Daly again for the same song. So that was kind of a little bizarre. You know what I mean? But it was great. So the performance was fantastic. This acoustic version of Distance, which was great. Now, interesting enough, it was filmed on the same set as the Jimmy Kimmel performance. So they must have done them back to back. It was the same setup with the same lighting and the same everything. So I guess they must have rented a rehearsal space out and recorded both performances, then let them out to each show. I mean, they're on different networks. Jimmy Kimmel's on ABC and Today Show's on NBC. So what did you make of this one?
You know, I did not notice that they were recorded on the same set.
It was the exact same setup. It was the exact same setup.
Well, this is what I get for watching it on my phone.
It was.
That makes a lot of sense now, because at the end of the Jimmy Kimmel set, it was eerily quiet. There was no applause.
Right.
And I was thinking to myself, I know he has some kind of studio audience there. No applause? That's kind of weird. But now it all makes sense.
Right.
So it sounds like he got a couple of offers and he was like, you know what? We're going to play it safe. Going to rent this space. We're going to record a few things and we'll hand them out to different television shows.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense, because at the end, he was in his home studio. That I recognize.
Right. No, yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. And now also on the Today Show was Valerie Bertinelli, and she was on there promoting the season 12 of Valerie's Home Cooking, her cooking show. And of course, you know Hoda. She's got to poke and prod until she gets tears. So
Hoda likes a polka.
That's right. Hoda don't give up. She keeps pushing those buttons and says, "How are you doing, Valerie?" Which I thought was a little rude, because she's there for promoting a cooking show. She doesn't want to start talking about her personal situation. But she's preparing a veggie dish for people who give up meat during Lent. And she's 60 years old. She looks 40. She looks fantastic. So she says, it's weird. Grief, shame is something I've never thought would happen to me. I knew the man for 40 years, referring to Ed. I was 20 when I met him, and I still loved him. We spent a lot of time together. He's the father of my son, the greatest gift in my life. I miss him, and I'm allowed to miss him. He was a huge part of my life. Just because we loved each other didn't lessen the love he had for Janie or me for Tom. It's a different kind of love. Maybe one day I'll figure that out and write a book about it. What did you make of that comment?
You know, here's the thing. It was their relationship. I mean, good for them that they still got along after they got divorced.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously they still respected each other a lot.
Right.
And they loved each other. They just weren't married to each other anymore.
Right.
So nobody should really be giving them any crap about their relationship. It worked for them, so hats off to them, right? Now, to your point about, should they be asking Val about this on the Today Show while she's doing a cooking segment?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, now, come on. She's trying to promote the cooking show.
I know.
We all know she's Ed's ex-wife.
Right.
But really, let her grieve. And by the way, we know it affected her a lot.
Yes.
So what are you trying to do? Are you really trying to get her to cry on national TV?
And the poor woman was biting her lip. I mean, I was like... Oh.
Right. She even said something to the effect of, tears will start flowing.
Yeah, and she said, they put up a picture of Ed and Wolf, that nice picture of the two of them. And she goes, "Oh, don't do that to me, Hoda." I was just kind of like, dude, what are you doing?
No, but the other part of me is kind of like, did they discuss this with her beforehand? Because that's really a fast one to pull on live TV.
I guess
Hey,
so.
We're going to talk about something we know that's going to get the tears flowing, right? I mean, if that was me at the end of the segment, I'd be like, Hoda, I love you, but with all due respect, I'm not coming on the show anymore because I can't bring enough Kleenexes when I talk to you.
Oh my God, yeah. I don't know, but they really were squeezing the lemon there. They were really kind of like, holy cow.
They were.
I was, and the Today Show is usually, everything's so light and fluffy on that show. You know, it's not like a hard hitting interview.
Is it? I mean, I haven't watched it in years.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's like,
yeah.
it's a morning show, which is fine. Just kind of light, fluffy stuff in the morning. And, Valerie's doing a cooking segment, just kind of fun, light stuff. And she's like, oh, before we make this vegetarian dish, tell me about your relationship with your dead ex-husband. I mean, that was kind of like, whoa. You know what I mean? I mean, it's funny because she's always so sensitive about things people say to Wolf, which I understand. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I would have what I would have done if I was Valerie is I would have turned the mixer on and I'd be like, tell me about it.
Can't hear you.
She's like, so anyway, you put the apples up on top. But anyway.
Only got a couple of minutes to make this. Let's do it.
Exactly. Either way, it was good to see Val. She looks great. She's still grappling with Ed's passing, which everybody is. So we wish her well. So now, Wolf spoke to Rolling Stone a bit, and he talked about making the album. He did a little preview there, and he said that things really started rolling when he wrote the demo for the song Mammoth. He said it was the first time I felt like, yeah, I'm ready to do this. Like I said, the album is going to be the 13 tracks plus the bonus track of Distance. He said the song Mr. Ed kind of opens the album, and it's a nod to his dad, Eddie Van Halen, of course. That was just the demo title, Wolf says, because I opened it with a harmonic tap, and I tap in the solo, and it reminded me of Dad, so jokingly I called it Mr. Ed. But I think that's kind of cute that he did that. Think It Over is, he said, the album's poppiest track. He just kind of shows his fondness for Jimmy Eat World, and it was also Eddie's favorite on the album. He said it's just a straight-up pop rock song, but Dad just loved the energy of the song, and it made him happy, so he's very excited about that. Next one, I'm really curious to hear, called Don't Back Down. He says it has a heavy, glam-tinged stadium rock groove, kind of a cross between Gary Glitter and Marilyn Manson's Beautiful People. He said the demo title for that one was Sabbath. The whole vibe of the song was just a sports arena with just hands in the air, fucking yelling for your team and going nuts. The next song, Feel, really shows off his multi-instrumental prowess. He said he lets loose on this track, and he says there's kind of a crazy drum solo-y thing on there, and the bass goes pretty crazy, so he's got some really wild stuff going on there. And he did say that on that track, Feel, and a few other ones on the album, he used Ed's Frankenstein guitar. And he said when Eddie took it out of, I guess, his closet or whatever he keeps it, he said it was funny to watch Ed play with it because he tosses it on the couch and throws it around, and it's so funny to Wolf, he said, because to him it's like this piece of trash he put together for a couple of $100, but to everyone else it's the most iconic guitar in the history of music. So I thought that was funny. So what did you think of all this information, Dave?
This is great stuff. He's really putting it out there.
Right.
Super excited. We've been so hungry for this for so long.
God, salivating for years.
Few weeks, we got pictures of the album.
Yeah.
Stuff for sale that we can pre-order.
Right.
He's playing live on TV. I mean, like you said, he's doing everything right. It's great. So I'm more curious than ever. Can't wait to hear the whole album. Bring it on, man. Bring it on.
I can't wait. One thing he is doing, though, he's still fighting with people online, which is a little weird. So one guy on Twitter said, Wolf is awesome, but he's not Edward, which is such a stupid comment. When are people going to stop with this? I mean, this is getting absolutely ridiculous.
When all these social media platforms turn off the bulletin board aspect
and
don't let people respond to everything, which, of course, would defeat the purpose of social media. But, everybody feels the need or, the right to comment on everything. I was just hearing this today when I was listening to something else. People feel like they could say anything they want as keyboard warriors that they would never say to people in person.
Right.
And that's where we are right now.
I know.
The thing is, as we know, Wolf is fiercely defensive, certainly of his father and his family. And I get that. But sometimes, man, people are just jerks and you just got to let it go. And no one's going to fault you for ignoring them.
There's so many people that make all kinds of comments about all kinds of musicians, but you rarely see the other musicians responding back to them. I don't know why he lets it get to him, especially with the talent he's got. Dude, I would just be like, listen, man, my stuff speaks for itself. Say what you want. But the weird thing is Wolf doesn't try to be Eddie. He's going out of his way to not do anything along those lines. The only thing he has is the last name that is the same. Of course, he's his son and he's got